Hello everyone, it's JC and we're back again with another soccer cleat review. Today we'll be looking at the brand new Adidas Predator Freak in the launch colorway. Alright, let's get right into it. First off, we got the box over here, which is exactly the same as the past Adidas Predator 20 model. It's massive, it's bigger than the usual Adidas boxes that you get for soccer cleats. You have the shoehorn, which is also massive. As you can tell between my fingers and that, it's huge. You have the original string bag, which is exactly the same as all the other past Adidas models, but it says Predator in green. I like it. These bags are always pretty handy. And as for the soccer cleat itself, let's get right into it. So first off, we got the Adidas Predator Freak Plus in the laceless version compared to the 0.1 and the 0.1 low, where it has laces and it doesn't have this insane, I don't even know what to call this thing. It's just a launcher basically. It's so big. Anyways, let's start off with the upper. So the upper is the demon skin upper, as you can see here. It's exactly the same as the past demon skin upper that you find on the Predator 20 Plus specifically, because the 0.1 model on the Predator 20 is a bit different. It feels pretty much exactly the same, but since there's less spikes, or at least the spikes are more spread out, you can actually feel the upper this time. It feels pretty nice. It feels a little bit more pliable, and it feels like it's easier to break in than the past model. And of course, the spikes. The spikes, as you can tell, are now longer, and they seem to be poking out a little bit higher. Maybe that's just a placebo, I can't really see. But the spikes are definitely longer. And I like this because in the past Adidas Predator 20 model, we had problems with a few fins coming off. Some of the spikes would be coming off and people would complain about that. But I didn't see anyone that had all of them come off, or a very good chunk. I haven't seen that yet. Which means the spikes are surprisingly durable. For me, I never had any spikes come off yet, but I also don't play in my Predator 20 too much. As for the spikes on here, because they are longer, I feel like they have more space to basically be glued onto so that they won't be coming off as easy as at least the past model. There are new spikes on the tongue. The tongue area has some spikes, which I worry about the durability of these specific spikes and the durability of this logo over here, just because it's right on the stretchy tongue. And I've had problems with other soccer cleats where they try to put something on the tongue area and they would come off. So I can see these coming off. But as for right now, they feel pretty durable. I don't see them coming off right away, at least hopefully not. As for the Soleplate, the Soleplate is exactly the same as the past model, as you can see here. There's nothing changed. The heel counter, the heel itself is exactly the same. The studs are exactly the same. Same layout, same format. I will be getting the AG version here eventually, and the AG version I will do a review on it too. As for now, I would like to point out that the stud pattern, this is not my favorite, especially this layout, considering the past model had some problems with durability. People have pointed out that this part right here had some durability issues where it'd start coming off. There was some sole separation right here that I also had issues with right here, and inside right here where they have these little parts poking out. You can even see it. And yeah, you can definitely see where there are some problems there. I think the shape of this outside area over here should have just stayed original, nothing too fancy, because these parts had some issues with not only just me, but other people had some issues with that. So I must say the durability might not be as good as you'd like it to, especially if you try to wear these on AG. Again, these are an FG model, do not wear these on AG. But if you have to, you can. Considering they're mainly, or at least mostly conical studs, you can get away with these compared to like chevron bladed studs, which you can't get away with. There's an AG model that has been released, so you can buy those. And for the pricing is $275 US. let's get into the collar. So you got the little launcher over here and the tongue area. It is now a two-piece upper construction, which is unique for any of the laceless options. The only other laceless option that even has a split upper like this is the Nemesis 19 Plus, which a lot of people complain about the lockdown. As for the lockdown on these, it might be a two-piece upper, but it feels exactly the same as a lockdown in the Predator 20 Plus. Heel lockdown is not the greatest. It's not as good as the Adidas X Ghosted Plus, but it's decent enough for you to play a game and stuff like that. So I don't mind the lockdown too much. I know a lot of people care about that. If you care about the lockdown as much as, you know, professional players or something, get the Freak .1 or the Freak .1 Low. It does come with the laces, so you'll like that, and it's pretty much the same exact. I don't mind it too much. The difference here is with this part separated, as you can see, it's pretty separated, very deeply separated. You can feel it pressing against your ankle area, I guess, where you bend your foot. You can feel it pressing right here. And I did feel like it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's also a nice sensation that I personally like, even though it's a bit uncomfortable, especially when you flex your foot. It feels like you're locked in like a seatbelt, even though it's the same exact heel lockdown with the past model. I don't know why they decided to add this and make it so high, like it can't even go all the way on the screen because it's so high. But whatever, it might be easier to grab onto when you place your foot. Oh, also, I did notice that putting these on, it does feel a little bit easier than putting on the past model, considering it's two pieces now. You can just kind of open it up like this and then just slide your foot in sideways and get right into it, which is nice. Overall shape, pretty much exactly the same as the past model. Because of the Soleplate being exactly the same, that means the top over here has that bigger, wider area for the forefoot, and with some space that I have trouble with right here in the toe area. It's not that the boots may be too big for me, but it's like, because it's such a, I guess it's like the shape of the boot stays exactly where it is. There's some little air pockets that I have issues with, so that is something to note about the shape of the boot. And in the midfoot, it's still crushingly tight compared to the past models. If you have a slightly wider, slightly flatter foot like I do, you will have some issues with the midfoot crushing you. Even if you have just regular feet, you will have the midfoot issues crushing your arches, and you'll definitely feel some cramps before you break them in, which takes some time to break in. Takes some good time, actually. And as for the narrow-footed people, you'll have issues with spacing over here. You might even have to go down half a size, depending on how narrow your foot is. I recommend you wear these and try them out at the store before buying them, or at least making sure you have a good return policy, because these laceless boots are not for everyone, definitely not for all foot types. It has to be a very specific foot type for you to comfortably put these on and wear them until they're broken in, basically. But once they are broken in, just like the past models, I'm gonna guess it's very similar. It feels nice. The midfoot cramping goes away, at least most of it. And the forefoot area does feel a little bit roomy and spacey, which kind of takes away from the one-to-one connection, but it's okay. Overall, I like this. This is a pretty sick colorway. Reminds me of the Wolverine X-Men colorway. It's kind of sick. Also gives me some Halloween vibes with these like broken, cracked blue and white, as you can see over there. And that's it. Let's check these out on feet. These are pretty sick on feet, I'm not gonna lie. If you want to stand out and possibly look goofy on the field, definitely get this colorway. I do know that if you play with these and some old folks see you wearing these, they're just gonna make fun of you. You're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna pop the ball. Here we go on feet. You can see right here, similar crushing midfoot area. I actually really like where they've replaced the stripes. It looks pretty cool. As for the fit, it is tight. Right here is definitely tight. It does bunch up a little bit sometimes, but that's okay. That's what happens with laceless soccer cleats. You actually have some more space over here at the top, so that's nice. It is squeezing right here. You can definitely feel right where the logo is, especially if I was to flex my foot, just like that. As for sizing, I go true to size. I'm between a size 8, size 8.5, depending on models and brands, but I'm a true size 8. So if I were you, I'd go true to size. Just note that depending on your foot, you will have some spaces around this area over here, but I can't go any lower considering my toe is exactly at the top. So if I were you, I'd go true to size, or even if you have a narrower foot or even a, not as wide foot, have to go half a size down, which I feel like a bunch of other people are going to start recommending you to do, considering you'd have to break them in and everything like that. After trying them out, you definitely need to go down half a size. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please comment down below. And if you have any more video suggestions, please let me know.